So what's up everybody, it's me. There we go. True Star Screamer. And we are here with something very cool. First of all, sorry for my absence. It's been kind of crazy here in North Carolina. We got snowed in and all my stuff was also delayed. But don't worry, the cool stuff is here. And we are looking at the Bro Toys Ninja Assassin, the 1/12 scale ninja action figure. This is their take on Ryu Hyabusa from Ninja Gaiden. The box itself is much like a ninja. Plain, dark, doesn't really stand out. Apparently this product is made for 15 and up. Good thing I'm 47, but I digress. Plain box, we don't care about that. We want to see a ninja. And there we go. Look at this, master of camouflage. No, I'm kidding. There we go. Now that is our ninja. And this is the Ninja Assassin, aka Ryu Hyabusa, just as he comes out of the box. So this is the default hands he comes with. I've not put any of the accessories in. And I played a little bit of Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox back in the day. I did, of course, really enjoy Dead or Alive, though my main on that one was Ayumi, his, I guess, sort of partner in a way, his protege. But Ryu has always been a very cool ninja in general. I passed on the Amazing Yamaguchi as soon as I saw this guy was coming out, and to be honest, I have zero regrets. There's some things I really like about this figure, and there's a few kind of, I don't want to say letdowns on it. Detail itself, as you can see here, is pretty much impeccable. It is spot on. The armor looks beautiful. We got the matte black with the silver highlights on here. The skin tone looks pretty good. I wouldn't mind it being a little, scarred up a little, but that's just me being, just liking I like battle damage, I won't lie. The scarf, minimal soft goods, but we got the scarf here, and it is wired, which is absolutely awesome. So we can have that flowing in the wind. Details, again, very nice on the armor. It looks like he jumped out of the video game. I mean, it's really nice. Nice job on the eyes, the helmet's got a little bit of wash on there. Articulation, it's about 89% there. Smooth, double jointed knees. Hips do pretty well in the T-pose. No drop down hips. That's one thing. I think this absolutely could have used drop down hips just to really allow him to kick high, because that's as forward as he can kick right there. That kind of annoys me. Same with the butterfly joints. They're pretty much non-existent. It's like they're there if you kind of work it, but they're barely there. And it seems I've got a little more movement on this arm than I do on here. Go figure. I don't know if it's how the soft plastic is or what, but yeah, it goes forward a little more, barely goes back at all. And with my ninjas, I definitely like butterfly joints, especially going towards the back to make it look like they're striking backwards. Double jointed elbows, those are nice. Again, nice and smooth, bicep swivel. I like how the torso's done. I love my twisty torsos, so I can absolutely get some very dynamic angles on here, which is good. And the neck's on a peg, so it allows him to look, and he's able to look up, which is very good. So the core figure, it's pretty solid on here. I give it an A- if I was going to give it a grade. Also the toe joints, they go up pretty decent, but they also flop down a little, and that just kind of bugs me, because nobody's foot does that. I mean, if you're having a toe curling moment, I don't know if I'd be wanting it in battle. That's up to you to interpret. The really cool thing about all this, though, is the accessories, and he comes jam-packed with them. So we're going to talk about the core accessories, and then the extra special stuff. And believe me, you get plenty of both. First, you get 6 of the kunai daggers, which are beautifully painted. They got the silver with a little bit of airbrushing on the black to kind of give them that sheen on there. And of course these just fit right here on his hip little scabbards, knife holders, whatever. These could fit a little better, to be honest. These kind of almost go right through, so that has me a little nervous that they might get sucked up by the carpet monster, if you know what I'm saying. Because these are just kind of in there by friction. And like this, like the center one right here, it just feels like it just feels way too loose for my liking. I mean, it's in there, but it's just in there, if that makes sense. You know, so I can put them again down the sides here, and they're, like I said, they just fit in there. Maybe it's just, well, again, one of those things, like a little bit of math would have helped out of just getting it, like, we're talking millimeters would have made a difference, because again, this just feels loose in there. But yep, see the center ones, they just fell right out. So that kind of gives it a strike against it. We also get plenty. We get the hands that we need. It's not like a crazy amount of hands. So we get 2 holding hands, which will be good for weapons, which we'll get to that in a moment. We get kind of a trigger hand, but it's not for a gun. And then we get the whole like ninja pose hand, which I think is essential. But yeah, the fact that these daggers just do not hold in there, that is a real disappointment. I mean, I can see as as it's in there how loose they are, which is a damn shame. I mean, yeah, they're falling out now by gravity. That was, all of them fell out of this side now. So that is an absolute strike against it. Then we get the other accessories, though, are pretty damn cool. For the rest of our accessories, we get a whole tray and a little bit of carryover from the first tray. So first, I want to talk about the second arm you get with him. This is like the Demon Corruption arm, which is very, very cool. Though I honestly don't know how much I trust popping out the joint. It's just me being paranoid, but this looks absolutely gorgeous. All the grotesque muscles to it, the bleeding hand. You get also an alternate holding hand, which is awesome to go with the other weapons. When I first saw these, I actually thought they were hand weapons. These are actually foot weapons, believe it or not. Though the holding hands worked pretty well, but you literally just slide that over the foot, and it kind of makes sense when you see it by the ankle. I think that's a very cool... that, again, it's friction, but that stays on there very well. Because when we talk about the stuff in the tray, this is the beauty right here. This is part of why you bought this versus the amazing Yamaguchi. Starting off with the simpleness, Starting off with the basic weapons, we have his katana, his cursed katana, which if you remember in the game would absorb the souls of his slain foes. That draws quite nicely. The scabbard itself is beautiful. I like the adornments on that, and then the hilt of the sword looks really, really nice. No runes on the blade. I thought that would have been kind of cool if we saw some kind of runes or kanji on that. That's just me being picky. The actual lacing on that is really, really nice. And I mentioned before, he has his holding hands. They're flexible enough, and this will just fit right in there. Should fit right in there. Actually, we'll go with the other hand here, make them right-handed. And it's a little tight, but it's sculpted in there. And yeah, that goes in there. That's a good sword grip in there. So I'm happy with that. And we can also even do an underhanded blade technique if you wanted. He has a clip on the back that this will attach. Just pop right in there like a champ. And honestly, there is your basic display right there. See, this is why I really wish he had those butterfly joints, by the way, so I could really do a proper ninja magic pose. But that's your basic ninja look right there. And of course, sans the blades on the feet. Oh, man, I just knocked out those daggers. Next we have the compound bow and arrow, which, again, really well detailed on here. That pulls back quite nicely. The arrow itself, it came a little curved, and that's where this hand comes in. It's supposed to be drawing back the arrow, I believe. That just notches right in there. So you can hook the finger, pull that back, and that'll look really cool. I probably will never really use this look, to be honest. It's just not a look I care for. Wasn't a weapon I liked, but you got it because it's part of the game. Now this is beastly. They got the sickle with a like a mace on the end of it. I don't remember which game this was in. I only played most of Ninja Gaiden 1, and even then I didn't have the patience at the time. So, but this looks beautiful. This is a true metal chain. That I think will be a very nice display weapon to have. Then we have the scythe, and this is actually adjustable. You can open it up, have it probably fold that and clip this onto his back, which I think is really cool that you can do that. That's a little sharp down there. This is, again, absolutely beautiful. It's light. This is also lightweight too, so I don't feel this is going to do too much disruption for his balance. I think this one might be my favorite weapon, to be honest. And finally, to go with the bladed booties, you also get the hand claws. And this again goes with the holding weapon. You'll just flip that in there, and that you'll see that actually goes over the hand quite nicely. This is really cool. I like the overspray of blood, almost like demon blood on the claws. Also very, very cool. So I'd probably say I would, the katana is basic. I'm not going to count that in there, but I would go scythe, claws, the mace weapon, and then finally the bow and arrow. I'm still debating if I want to have him displayed with the demon arm, to be honest, but because this looks really cool. But I'm just glad they put this in. I'm also going to say he's a big boy, especially for an import figure. Here he is compared to a G.I. Joe classified figure, and he kind of towers him. I mean, there he is compared with a Mythic Legions figure. He's even larger than that, and that's an orc. So it's a little bigger than your normal 1/12 scale figure, to be honest. Not complaining, but it's just a little unusual. I thought he'd be a little tinier. On the other hand, if you want to be using like the memory toy, Metzi toys, whatever they're called these days, that actually could work. So if you want to be doing like that oversized video game stuff, that isn't too bad, to be honest. So it's not a bad thing, but it's just kind of interesting about how the scale's working with all this. So I first heard of Bro Toys when I was watching videos of their Kratos figure, and I heard all these wonderful, amazing things about it. And I passed on the Kratos because I'm not a big God of War fanatic, but I do love my ninjas. I mean, who doesn't love ninjas? And here I am, able to get one of the coolest ninjas in high-end action figure form. Like I said, I passed on the amazing Yamaguchi one. I heard mixed things about that, about the pegs being small and things like that. And so I came into this with really high hopes. And again, this guy was about, $85, $89 figures plus $89 plus shipping from 5K Toys. I still have the guts on pre-order from these guys, though I did pass on the Devil May Cry figures. And as I'm handling this, I'm kind of glad I'm passing on the Devil May Cries. I've got the 1,000 Toys Dante anyway. But the big negatives are, well, hands down, the biggest negatives are the fact that the daggers do not stay in the scabbards. When I was putting in hands and such, I was crawling all over my floor. I'm surprised I've got all 6 of them still. The lack of butterfly joint, I think, is a real hindrance to it, because I could do some very cool ninja magic poses to really kind of, set him apart from other figures. The balance is okay. I don't think I did I tried to do my little kickboxing daddy's home fit pose. Again, I'm no master of balance like Jay Hernandez or anything, but it's there, but maybe it just needs to be tweaked a little. I don't know, but I can't quite, I'm not naturally able to get him into a one-legged pose. Like I did that with Sagat figures, I did that with a few others. This one doesn't seem to quite do that. And then finally, I really think this figure should have had a drop-down hip. It would have just unlocked so much more ninja-like articulation, and it is doing it more harm than good, because I start doing the splits and all, and I see the soft plastic starting to bend. I would love to get a much more deeper bend out of this, just because, again, of what kind of character he is. I mean, he'll look good in the display case, don't get me wrong. Like, this is probably similar to the pose I'm going to put into. I'm not sure if I'm going to have all the weapons to it. I'm definitely not going to use the bow and arrow. Maybe I'll put the blades on them because they do look pretty damn cool. No instructions, though. I mean, a lot of it's pretty instinctive on that one, but like I had to look up the pictures to see that these were the foot blades, because the hands hold them pretty well, I have to say. And I'll probably need a hairdryer to switch out the arm, and I'm just wary about that, especially after spending all that money on this figure. So, your mileage may vary. I'm trying to give you guys an honest review, an objective review, not a blind review. If this is what you want a ninja that's going to look good, absolutely get this. And you know what? Speaking of Amazing Yamaguchi, those come with stands. Not the greatest stands, but they come with stands. I think this guy should have had one just so I could put him in an aerial pose. Like the Roman Key Cal gun girl, she came with a really nice stand. Something like that would be perfect for him. I can get one on Amazon, though. But those are my thoughts. Again, sorry for the delay on things, but we've got a lot more cool things ready to be reviewed. I also have the LPZZ Deathstroke on hand, so that will be coming up shortly. Plus, got some Valverse and even some Savage Crucible. Ooh, exciting things. But let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000. Give this video a like, and most importantly, as always, until next time, take care. Peace.